If I could have your attention in the media center, we're going to go ahead and start today's post-race media availability with Hendrick Motorsports President and GM Jeff Andrews. Jeff, congratulations on the win. Fantastic day for the 9-car, getting that back in the victory lane. Walk us through the race from your perspective.
A lot of highs, a lot of lows for us, you know, as a company. Obviously, you know, the misfortune there with the 5 and what they went through there with the, you know, the loss of the wheel. And put them back, but you know, just showing the strength of Hendrick Motorsports, you know, to have 2 more cars there in the top 5 and certainly in contention all day long, and obviously super proud of Alan and Chase and that whole team and just the way they've continued to work and to get better and believe in each other. I think is, you know, the most important thing. Those 2 guys have an unwilling belief in each other and trust in each other. And yeah, obviously things they'll admit you haven't, you know, been where they needed to be towards end of last year, but you know, they spent a lot of time this winter working on their team, their relationship with both of them and their team, and we couldn't be more excited to see all of that start to pay off for them both and that whole team.
Okay, we're going to open the floor for questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless microphone to you. We'll start with Justin, then go to Bob.
Justin Schuler, Kicking the Tires. You guys obviously have great relationships with a lot of sponsors. So what does it mean to you as the organization to give Hooters a victory after 32 years of being winless and going through that drought through the sport?
Well, yeah, all of our sponsors and partners, of course, are very important to us, but certainly, you know, for Hooters, what a great win. As you said, it's been a long time for them, and great to see them in victory lane and their belief, you know, in Chase and, you know, kind of their hometown boys, so to speak. So great to see them back. Proud of the way the job the team did for them today, and you know, like I said, for all our sponsors, you know, it's been a good start to 2024, and we're going to keep working and trying to stay ahead of this, so we're in good shape when we head to the fall here for the playoffs.
Come up front to Bob.
Bob Hockers, Fox Sports. Is Chase Elliott back?
I didn't get that, Bob.
Is Chase Elliott back?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. You threw the mic behind your head. I wasn't sure where we're going with that next. Is Chase Elliott back? Well, I would say, you know, outside of today, let's look at the whole season. I think that's a bigger picture than what that team pulled off today. And I don't think Chase Elliott, we don't as a company think Chase Elliott has ever been gone. We had some things to work on with the teams, the support we were giving him. As I said before, he and Alan spent a lot of time this winter on rebuilding that team, putting the right folks in that team, people that believed as much in that team as Alan and Chase did. And I think when you get all the folks pulling together and rowing the boat in one direction, you start to see the results like we've had so far with that team in 2024. So, yeah, certainly Chase is back today, but I think the bigger picture is, you know, what we've seen in 2024 is, you know, exactly the momentum we want to see built with that team, and they're headed in a good direction, and now have them an opportunity, a shot in the playoffs, and we're going to keep working as an organization to get even stronger than where we're at now.
Do we have any additional questions for Jeff? Well, Jeff, congratulations, and good luck next week at Talladega.
Thank you so much. Yep. Appreciate it.
We are going to continue on with our post-race media availability for the Auto Trader Echo Park Automotive 400, and we're joined by our winning crew chief, Alan Gustafson. Number 9, Hooters Chevrolet, Hendrick Motorsports, back in victory lane for the first time since 2022. How sweet was this victory today?
Yeah, it's super sweet. So, yeah, been a little bit longer than we would like to see it. But, yeah, in Texas, of all places, this is one of the tracks that has been tough on us over the years. So super proud of the perseverance and the day and the effort. And, yeah, the team deserves it. They've done a really great job, and super proud of them.
Okay, we'll open the floor for questions. We'll start with Lee. Go to Jeff.
Congratulations, Alan.
Thanks,
I know it's
Lee.
been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Lee Spencer, Sirius XM, NASCAR Radio, and CatchFence.com. I was surprised when TV said that this was his first top 5 out of with the next gen car at an intermediate track.
Me too. Crazy stat. Never would have thought.
Yeah, but to get the first win here, this is this the catalyst you guys have kind of been looking for? You've been gaining. You've had 3 top 10s, 2 top 5s in the last 2 weeks, but I mean, this just really kind of puts you all over the top.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you've kind of got to be there, and you've got to take some swings at it, some cracks at it, and I think. Richmond maybe didn't show up to everybody, watching the race, but I thought we had a really good shot at that race. And it just kind of didn't go our way at the end. And then Martinsville, obviously, we're 20 or 30 laps away from closing the deal on that one. So we knew we were close. And then, to come here, I think we had a lot of momentum as a team and a lot of belief and just a lot of positive energy, a lot of good things going on. But, you kind of see that intersecting with the track that traditionally is not a great track for us. So I think everybody just focused on the positive and what we could potentially do here and not really, how difficult it's been in the past and, overcame it. So super proud of that. Thanks.
Go to Jeff, then the Bob, then the Cameron.
Every time there's a car change, it always seems like there's some drivers who benefit from it, some drivers who have a harder time getting their arms around it. And Chase has said, this has taken him, there's been an adjustment period for him. How have you tried to keep him positive? How have you tried to keep him, motivated in terms of, trying to find that, that edge for himself or that feel for himself that he needs and not, losing hope or getting too discouraged about this?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think different car models, different, tire configs, tracks, et cetera, suit certain people's natural tendencies of driving and better than others. I don't really know that this car doesn't suit him, but maybe just not as well as the old car and the options that we had with it. So, really, the drought's been long, certainly, but I don't know. I don't keep track, but he's won, 5 or 6 races in this car now. What did we win? 5, I guess, so it's not like he hasn't been successful. There's a lot of good drivers who would have a good career with 6 wins, right? So I just think that the old car, we were really good and really in position to win a lot, and so we just have to get back to that standard. And really in 2022 we had it and lost a little bit. But to answer your question, I'm kind of rambling on. I think you just got to trust the process, trust in each other, focus on improving, not getting caught up in what you don't have, focus on what you do have. We have everything we need to win with Mr. Hendrick and how he supports us, and everybody at Hendrick Motorsports supports us. We have a great race team. This is a really good race team, great pit crew. And we just knew, you just had to stay committed to that and each other. And that's all I do. It's not anything special besides just being super, super stubborn and resilient.
Go next to Bob, then to Cameron, then to Jonathan, then to Chance.
Like you should be, or maybe you're not back to where you feel like you should be?
Well, that's a tough question for me to answer because I don't feel like we haven't been where we should have been, right? I don't feel like we go to the racetrack and just struggle and don't run well. We have run well, and we've run well all season. I really can't think of a race this year that we weren't in contention to compete, at least for a top 10, most of them top 5. So I think our average run position is 4th maybe before this race, something like that throughout the season. So I guess what standards are you setting? Our average run position throughout the year is 4th. So, that's a pretty elite position to be in. So I just feel like for us to get back to winning consistently the way we want to, we just had to find, it's like anything else, right? I think we're 90% of the way there, but that last 10% is super hard to get to the level that the 24's been at, recently, and the 11's been at. So we just need a little bit more, but I don't feel like we've been failing, so to speak.
Go next to Cameron, then to Jonathan.
Cameron Richardson, NASCAR.com. Alan, how has Chase, I wouldn't say changed mentally, but evolved mentally over this last year and a half, where he's amid the winless streak, having to recover from the injury, but then also watching his fellow teammates, keep on winning, and it's not him. Just how has he evolved mentally, and how do you help him as sort of a coach and mentor as well?
I just think, I mean, in this forum, everything's looked at through the, lens of racing and performance and the sport of racing. There's life that goes on outside of this for everybody that most people don't take into consideration. And he's a human being just like everybody else. He has his life going on. He has different things. He has trials and tribulations that he has to work through. And being out with an injury and then having to go through all of that and maybe not performing to some people's expectations. It's not something that I believe. I feel like he's performed really well, and I think it's just sometimes you can get in a little bit of a hole and you just have to fight, right? I mean, that's the biggest thing I think that I'm most proud of him and the team for is just continue to fight through it and make it happen. And you learn, it's super cliche and cheesy, but you just never give up, and you learn that if you don't give up, eventually things are going to turn around. And I think that's probably going to be the biggest lesson that he's going to take out of this. I mean, he's a young kid, and he's going to learn, you just got to grind through it. It's not always going to be, you're not always going to, William Byron, as much as I love him and Rudy, they're not always going to be, at the top, right? It just is not going to happen. Everybody's gone through ebbs and flows. Whoever you want to call successful, Truex, Denny, Kyle Busch, everybody has those ups and downs. And I think just having the strength to battle through it and persevere is key, and he's done that.
Jonathan Field, the racing experts. I know you worked with other great drivers throughout the years, Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, when they've been in the midst of longer winless streaks. How did with Chase? How did this compare to those situations? Having the pressure of getting him back to victory lane. How did this compare?
Yeah, we won. If memory serves me correct, when we won the second race with Jeff or something like that at Phoenix, so there wasn't really a long build up to, oh geez, when we're going to win. It happened, I think, at Phoenix, the second race. I think it was at the time or somewhere near there. And then we won with Mark at Phoenix too. So, but to be honest, and I don't want to downplay it, but I'm not oh geez, we're on a losing streak. That never comes into my mind. I never think about that at all. I don't think about, hey, it's been, there's no clock on my desk that says it's been 10,225 days and a billion hours since you last won. I just focus on doing the best I can and performing and getting the team ready to go, and everybody does the same thing. So I think it's more of a, really tangible thing to you guys than it is to me, to be honest.
Go next to Chance and then Elliott.
Alan Gustafson, Chance Lancaster, Amron Motorsports Power Hour. The strategy that came out today with you guys, you're kind of buried in the field with the qualifying effort, and you stayed out and got the caution you needed at the right time. What other strategy were you guys playing as we had several cautions there back to back to back, really close on fuel there at the end? What was that looking like with you guys? Yeah,
I think the strategy was super solid today. We knew we'd qualified on the back. It's just hard to pass here. We knew we had a good car, so we had to get aggressive, get some track position, and we were literally going to pit right when that caution came out. So we got a break there. We knew that was going to give us a few options if we ran long, and I liked, even if we didn't catch a caution, having some options. And I think the rest of it was really, really good. We probably missed one call where we pit. I don't remember where we're running, but fifth or sixth, and then we pit. It's probably 25 that go to the stage 2, I guess it was, and got buried a little deeper than I like to seen it. We got kind of back in that 12th, 13th spot, but it ultimately worked out. But if I was going to critique it honestly, I'd say that was probably not the right decision. I think the 12 and a few others stayed out there. That would probably been the better way to go.
Next to Elliott.
Elliott Stern, Sports Talk 805. Two things at the end with all those restarts, and the second place guys ended up going up into the wall. But before that happened, were you worried or concerned or nervous that, the tires might be falling off or we might be running out of fuel? And the second thing is you now have 3 teams in the playoffs, does that give you a chance to tinker and fiddle with things to see if you can become even stronger and more dominant? Just so early in the season, you have plenty of time to play around with things.
Let me see if I can hit all these for you. Tires, not really, because I think most of the guys we were around were on really pretty even tires besides the 6. And the 6 had made a pretty big press to us, but he seemed to kind of stall out, and I felt like that, cool down tires, restart, we were going to be in reasonable position to him. Even though they had a great race and had a really good car, I just felt like, we kind of had weathered the storm there. Fortunately, when that caution, before that, he was coming really good with tires. I think he was, he probably didn't want to see that caution if I had to guess. Then the fuel thing, we were getting down there. I think, we had that green-white checker that we finished on, and maybe one more if it would have happened quickly, but not much. So certainly pushing into longer and longer and get short on fuel. And then, we're kind of tinkering, to use your word, we're kind of tinkering every day regardless. And wins are always a good thing. Wins give you some leverage and some opportunity, but I don't really think it changes anything that we do. We're going to be doing everything we can at HMS to be the best we can be, regardless if we have, 10 wins or no wins. So, you always love to win, and it's a great thing, but I don't really think it changes our perspective much.
Do we have any additional questions for Alan? Alan, congratulations. Oh, we got Bob here. Don't throw the mic this time, Bob. Yeah.
Bob, you look a little frazzled. You okay there,
Yeah,
bud?
no, I'm good.
You're good?
I'm
Good.
good.
All right, good.
I mean, you won, so it's kind of exciting, right?
I'm flattered.
I'm curious. Did you have to do extra work to get Chase comfortable or to thrive in this car, in the next-gen car? I mean, has it been a plod, or is the work just the same whether things are going good or going bad?
No, look, I mean, there's times when things are flowing really well and come easier than others, certainly. And I think there's times when you have a great feel for what it takes to perform and it takes to run up front and win, and you that makes things a little easier. I don't know that you work any less hard, but it just, things just seem to click a bit easier. And then when, you're not running as good as you want to, and really for us, I think more than this year, it would be this track specifically. This hasn't been historically a great track for us. So, you'll emphasize things, and it's a bit more, a little bit, I don't know how to say, like, you're just kind of grinding a bit more, and you're just trying to look for every little potential solution or potential advantage. But I mean, I just get them, like you're talking about Chase, like he can't drive this car. I mean, he really can, and he does really good. The winless streak is, I can think of certainly, one untimely caution. There was really a couple times, Charlotte, I feel like we had by far the best car at the Roval, right? And the caution comes out and different things happen, and, obviously out of the car. But no, when you're struggling, you just kind of have to grind it out a bit more. Yeah, I guess my point is, like, it's not, if you look at his body of work in this car, regular season champion the first year of the car, 5 wins, to the playoffs, runs 2 races, Daytona 500, which we all know is a crapshoot, finishes second at Fontana, which, was pretty good, has a snowboarding accident, breaks his leg, has maybe not as good a year as we would have liked, but still, I think the time he was in that car, his average finish was like 3rd or 4th best of anybody on the track, right? And now we start this season with this car. Do anybody know where we're at in points now? Have we moved up? Are we 4th in points, 1 win, 3 top 5s, average run position before we started was 4th. Like, what am I missing? What is he not doing that should be doing? Like, I think he's pretty good.
I think it's partly based off his confidence too. Like when he comes in,
I got you. Okay.
you know, like, hey, I don't have the feel. I don't feel. You know what I'm saying?
I understood. I understood.
And Byron and Larson have won a lot of races too.
Well, I think we've won the same as Kyle this year, right? Thank you.
And with that lesson in mathematics,
Thank you, guys.
yes.
Be a little nicer to Chase, Bob, when he comes in here. Come on now. We're
Congratulations,
trying
Alan.
to keep
Good luck
him
in
on high.
Talladega.
All right, there's the checkered flag. Great job, driver.